Hey y'all, I am in the garden today and I have several things that I need to take care of this week, but by the time I get home, the sun is already starting to go down, so it'll probably take me a week to accomplish what I need to get accomplished this week. So you're going to see me in a bunch of different outfits as I get a little bit done each day after work. I was able to talk Tommy into starting our plans for our outdoor shower, and in order to put it in, we need to trim back a bunch of limbs. We need to move the trampoline, the grandkids trampoline, out of the way. I have some garden paths I want to start putting in and putting plantings around that so that we get rid of all of the grass in the backyard, which is my goal. Don't want any grass. I don't want very much grass back here. I'm going to cut back some things that just don't look pretty by this time of the year, like the cannas. They might have a regrowth if we don't have a hard freeze, so we're going to cut those back. We're going to finally pull those tomatoes because they're serving no purpose. And then I'll show you a few other things we're going to get done. So let's get started. So this is where, this area here is where the shower is going to go. And we're going to move that trampoline over to this area, but our neighbor's tree limbs are all in this area and hang down to right there. So we've got to trim all of that up. One of my Confederate rose hibiscus has started to bloom. Got one flower. They're small this year, but that's a new plant. It's, I don't know, about 7 feet tall, and I just planted that this year. That's how easy they grow. So anyway, I have to clean up the pond because it gets a bunch of sap and leaves in it this time of year, so it's time to clean that out. And here, from the bird bath out to the arch where the roses are is where the first path is going. So it'll come this way, and it'll also go over to the goldfish pond. So I'm going to start with this one and come all the way down here by killing the grass. So that's going to be day one. Now I have this thick paper, and I'm going to roll it out where the path is going to be. All right, I got the paper down. I weighted it down with some bricks, and that will start the process of killing the grass. I'm also going to put cardboard down. I'm out of breath. I'm also going to put cardboard down and weed barrier. So the path will come from there and come all the way to here. Path number 1. So I got to get in and start dinner. We'll be back tomorrow. Now the okra way up there is still producing. So we're going to leave that. Still getting lots of okra and canning lots of okra. It's getting lots of little shoots coming up. This one basically turned into a tree. You can see it branched off here. A bunch of different branching off. The leaves just kind of fall off whenever they want. And each branch is producing. So I don't do anything to these except water them once a week if we're not getting any rain. So we're going to leave the okra, but the tomatoes that never produced are coming out. It was just too hot this year, and I've left them, but there's no point in leaving them anymore. So I'm going to be pulling all this up, and it's going into the compost bin. I might plant something else in here. Don't know, I haven't decided. Everything I pull out of here will go in the compost bin. So see, I know I brought scissors out here. The roots aren't that deep, so it was easy to pull out. It's attached. One thing I am good at is learning my lesson, and I won't be planting tomatoes here in this spot next year. I have sweet potatoes that are just trailing everywhere and getting new roots. Another tomato. And that's it for the tomatoes. The tomatoes are all gone out of here. And we can refresh this bed and plant something else in here. I'm gonna go put all of this in the compost bin and move on to the next thing. Now these cannas are looking pretty sad this time of year. A lot of dead foliage. So what I'm gonna do is chop them down to the ground, and hopefully they get a second growth this year. So let's get those down. Alright, well I got a little bit of it done. About half of it. So we're gonna have to pick up and finish the other half tomorrow. Tommy's getting the mowing done. And I have to finish getting rid of all of these. You ever wish you could just snap your fingers and your chores would be done? Well, today I can. And just like that, another chore is completed. Let's move on to the next one, which involves that milkweed right there. So I noticed that my milkweed had a pod on it right here, and in order to keep them from just flying away, we take these little organza bags and slip it over the pod and then tie it. Make sure I got it in there good. Yeah, I did. And then we tie it real well. And when that seed bursts open, it will collect all of the seeds in the little organza bag. And then we don't lose all those seeds, and we can decide where we're going to plant the milkweed. So that was my next chore. Let's move on to the next thing. Tommy is going to start taking down these limbs so we can move the trampoline. Started burning some of the wood, some of the limbs that we have cut down. And we got the picnic table moved over here out of the way, and it's got these sticky leaves on there, so Tommy's gonna get that hose down real quick. They're like glued to the table. Just the sappy nastiness. Almost clean. You can see the sweet potato cuttings are already getting roots, and so are the Confederate Rose hibiscus cuttings that I took, and they're getting some new little leaves here. And this is my tomato plant. They're not dying, and they have some little roots right there. So all my cuttings so far are successful on these out here.
Alright, so we got the trampoline moved, area straightened up, trees trimmed out to where we could put it in there. Now hopefully the sap, we have to get this cleaned up, but it's all sappy right now. We'll get some soap out here on it. Thank you guys for watching. In a couple weeks we'll be doing the outside bathroom shower. Well, first off, I'd like for y'all to say a prayer for us. Our son is in the hospital with some heart issues. But yeah. So if you would say a prayer for us, I'd appreciate it and thank you. But if you haven't already, don't forget to like us and please subscribe. And stick around for our next video on the outdoor shower. Thank you.